Michelle Obama and Hillary and Obama treating their Secret Service like crap.
So what's the psychological calculus by them?
I think they're in positions that they didn't earn and they haven't worked hard for, and they act like everything's owed to them, including military and police and all that. Oh, you guys wouldn't even be here if I wasn't president. I think it's not like Trump getting off the plane and thanking every police officer and thank you. Look at these guys. Their guys are awesome.
And the citizens and the cooks.
Yeah, Obama, Hillary, and Michelle look at all those guys like, oh, I'm big time. I'm flying those big jets. Look at you. You guys owe me.
To the elitism.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this question then. Looking at this and looking at how the so-called left operates, what would they do, Jesse James, if they have their way with America?
I think basically the plan is to keep everybody on some kind of government assistance. Basically, open borders, stuff. Years and fought several wars to defend. They don't believe in that. They don't believe in the American dream. And it sounds, every word of that Pledge of Allegiance, every word of the Declaration of Independence, and every word of the Constitution, that stuff's mean.
And people could say, oh, that's America, that's a cult. I didn't think that 10 years ago, but then I realized, except what else there is. We don't do this.
Here's the one that they successful. Go to Mexico or Tijuana, and then go right over the border. Go right over the border.
Operation, a Second Amendment basic defense group. That is super exciting. Because look,
Stop now.
I thought it was
I'm pretty honored to be named in that. Like the NRA, I have a licensing company and handle a brand for the NRA called NRA Originals, and I have a really great relationship with them. And they asked me if I would want to be part of it.
Dead, I'm dead, I wish that you could see me.
you know, they're trying to be like the next Ralph Nader, you know, I'm gonna be on Venom.
Guns when I don't. You know, it's like you don't have a right to bitch about guns when you have a freaking body gun.
Yeah, but they're trying to make all these rules and laws to like, oh yeah, he's the guy that banned the big goals, you know, and like
I agree.
it's
You're right.
self-aggrandizing, which makes them like, oh, I'm the guy, you know, I get stuff done, and really it's just, you know, imposing rules and regulations on a society. It doesn't work because gun violence in New York and California is horrible, and they're two of the strictest states on gun rules. So how is that?
JJFU.com, JesseDavisFU.com. Well, it's been talking for years about getting you on air. It's great to have you here. I would want to take here and, you know, see you out, but I just, please come back. I know we've talked to like, hey, we ought to show this blacksmithing, and I'm busy, you're busy, we don't do it. But
How tall is Charlotte getting?
she's huge.
A little tiny.
Almost as big as your daughter.
No, I think she might be taller. She's like, I looked at her last night. I'm like,
fundamentally can't stand the honorableness of it because they're so dishonorable. And never before have we had a candidate like Hillary Clinton who is so evil, so dishonorable, all the WikiLeaks proving it, that she is fit for a prison cell not to run this country. And then there's Donald Trump, who was like sent from central casting from heaven to put up, because I put up with crap, he put up with crap, he's put up 100 times what we have. And I just hope and pray you're right. I think he's going to be elected tomorrow. If they steal it, it's a whole other ball of wax. But regardless, he really, Jesse James, as an American patriot, as an entrepreneur, as a father, that Trump has won already just by putting the issue of Americanism, not globalism, anti-cronyism, true free market. He has turned the page.
He'll reach across the line and make stuff happen. You know?
So you're convinced he's getting elected tomorrow?
So, you know what? I'm pretty confident.
Hey, I know the polls, I mean the internals, which, you know, people pay to get, but aren't the ones on the news. If they only had 7% more Democrats than you think Democrats.
They were trying, it was AP or something, was trying reverse psychology, saying like, well, you know, in Texas, if you don't vote for Trump, you'll benefit more. Like, you know, so that means he's going to win Texas. I think it's going to happen. If he wins Michigan and Florida,
Well, Hillary in an hour is doing an emergency midnight deal in Michigan. What does that tell you, Jesse James? In fact, you're here, you're trying to get here for years, you're here. Other points you want to make, we're going to shut this down and air and tape and come back to the next host.
we do that.
Well, I'm just glad that I've tried to get you on a few times and you're like, yeah, it never happens.
Let's go to dinner this weekend.
Let's do it. But what got you out? Just the epic level of what's happening?
I think so. I think it's trying to try to put a human voice to it's the kind of the last night of the status of this country the way it is. You know,
It's a crossroads.
I think tomorrow is a significant day for us in our lifetime, but I think tonight is like, you know, maybe someone that'll be watching this and realize that, you know, I'm not just some schmo. You know, I have some ideas in my head, but, you know, ultimately, I might talk a lot of smack, but ultimately I want it better for this country and for everybody here.
That's deep, because even let's say Trump loses or wins, making the right decision against the establishment, the communist Chinese, the Saudi Arabians, the big banks, they're all against Trump. If people claim they're against the establishment, how could you not be for Trump? The establishment is against the American system.
Yeah, I think so. They want to own us and take everything over.
All right, I'm going to do this because
that whole thing's poison in my water thing.
well, nothing banks. It's a little bit twisted. I've got the White House science czar admitting they put hydrofluorosic acid.
So one of my friends from California sent me some of a picture of your silver. What is the drops thing you have?
No, colloidal silver strength.
Yeah, he's like, look, show ounces. I take this every day.
When a regular antibiotic doesn't work, it's been proven.
You gotta give me some of that.
Brother, look, you've known me a while. I only go when I'm
Give me the shit.
I mean, no, I'm not giving a shit. I'm giving a shit. And you have to lay that in stations. Okay, X2. It's the good halogen.
Okay.
Bromine, bromide, chlorine, fluoride are the bad halogens in our life. Only iodine that's in the food and the water, very low level now, is there. All the cultures have Japanese ones with iodine. We sell iodine that you blue. Real iodine's not red, it's blue. The crystal's blue.
Yeah.
I was a big, tough guy like you. I was a big fat ass, gained all this weight. I work out less than I used to. I lost 45 pounds just taking survival shield next to the iodine because it's really a good halogen. Here's the problem. 2 weeks to 3 weeks gonna take. Oh man, the oil come out of your body, but it's heavy. It's the toxin. So, not that you need it, but I'm gonna give you some X2.
All right, I'll try.
Now, in closing, Larry, let's take here. I want to air a couple of clips. I want to air Conway explodes on Jake Tapper saying, you keep saying Trump's going to lose. Now he's heading polls. Back off. We've got Clinton rape whistle. I'm going to air that in line. MSNBC.
Hey, what's up with all the... I just can't wrap my head around that whole child molestation, sex trafficking thing.
Let's talk about that.
scattered upon the ground. 7 angels storm Jerusalem. It's a 3-ring circus in Jesus' town. Does anyone mind? Broken wings can't learn to fly if no one binds them. Broken wings will never fly if no one tries. And the coals are scattered upon the ground. 7 angels praise Jerusalem. It's a 3-ring circus in Jesus' town. Does anyone mind? Oh, now prophesy. Who has denied the Christ? Now prophesy again. And the prophets dance like the devil's dance upon the graves of the innocent, of what they used to be.
That kind of effort, and if he's put
A really good job.
I fixed my 1966 Ford Bronco this morning, and I did a really good job. I put up some tree stands for some guest hunters that made great donations for U.S. military charities. I put those tree stands up, and I did a really good job. I had a flat tire on my Polaris this morning. I fixed it. I did it myself. I didn't call my tire specialist. I am the tire specialist. You know what my job description is? I can do that. You know what my son's job description is? Yes, Dad, I can do that. I bet your job description is, you're damn right, I can do that. There's nothing we wouldn't do to provide for our family, to be in the asset column of Michigan and America. And that's what Donald Trump represents. I know his sons and daughters. I know Donald Trump. They will do anything to be accountable and be in the asset column to benefit their family, their community, and the greatest and only experiment in self-government in the history of the world, the United States of America. That's why Donald Trump needs to be the next president of the United States. Now, I don't know how much time they want me up here. I think one of the Secret Service agents took my knife away from me tonight. I think it was too bloody. And I said, let me get a little of that back strap off there before you take it. It's really adorable. And then we traded ammo. Because I had the good stuff. You think I'm kidding, don't you? So I'm here as a real Michiganiac. And I know if we do our job, the real Michigan we the people duty, our obligation to turn Michigan red and get it for Donald Trump and send Hillary Clinton packing. Tomorrow's the day. I love this state. I love your attitude and your energy. I love your spirit. Take no crap, Michiganiacs. Here in Grand Rapids, the gateway to up north, in Fred Bear country, I'm proud to stand with you here tonight. And Donald Trump and his sons asked me to play the song Fred Bear here tonight. How could you not? You know what I mean? So I'm going to go ahead and do that. You think this PA system can cut the mustard? What do you think, young lady? Will you dance when I start playing? I got a smile. I got a smile from the Secret Service. Detroit in 1948, and I wanted to get a bow and arrow. My dad said, okay, Ted, get a job. Yeah, I said, all right, so I started delivering the Detroit News. And I started shoveling snow and raking leaves and cutting lawns. And I sold night crawlers. Anybody ever sell night crawlers? And I said, Dad, I'd like to get a guitar, play that Chuck Berry music. My dad said, you're gonna have to get another job, son. So I did. And he said, you're gonna have to practice every day and practice every night, because if you're gonna play guitar, you're gonna kick some ass. That's what you're gonna do. We started going up north every October 1st. And we stopped in Grayling, Michigan. Any way I can get a little more monitor up here, I'd love to hear when I sing this song. A little more monitor. Because Fred Bear is the most important song in the world, isn't it? Everybody's got a Fred Bear, don't you? And I met a man in Grayling at the Grayling restaurant. And we had cherry pie and chocolate milk together. And I didn't really know who Fred Bear was, but I came to admire the man. I started hunting with Fred. And he said, Ted, stand up for what you believe in. Never back down. Aim small, miss small. And then he died. And this happened. There I was, back in the wild again. And I felt right at home, where I belong. I had that feeling coming over me again. Just like it happened so many times before. So many times. The spirit of the woods, he's like an old good friend. Makes me feel warm and good inside. I know his name, it's good to see him again. 'Cause in the wind, he's still alive. Talking about Fred Bear, walk with me down the trails again. Take me back where I belong. Fred Bear, I'm glad to have you at my side, my friend. And I will join you on the big hunt before too long. It was kind of dark, another misty dusk. And it came from a tangle down below. I tried to remember everything you taught me so. I had to decide which way to go. Which way should I go, boys? Was I alone or in a hunter's dream? The moment of truth is here and now. I felt his touch, I felt his guiding hand. And the book was mine forevermore. 'Cause not alone when we're in the great outdoors. We got his spirit, we got his soul. He guides my steps, guides my arrows home. Is that right, boys? Is that right? The restless spirit forever roams. And it roams a friend bear when I walk down these trails again. Takes me back, take me back, back where I belong. Friend bear, I'm glad to have you at my side, my friend. And I'll join you on the big hunt before too long. 'Cause in the wind, he's still alive. In the wind, he's still alive. 'Cause in the wind, I can hear Fred Bear. I hear you, Fred. Back home in Michigan, buddy. Up in Grand Rapids, Fred. Heart and soul, Michigan. Hey, Fred. It's November 7th. The rut. We took off the day to support Donald Trump, Fred. Because we're going to get Michigan back, you know what I mean? Hey, Fred. You go up that ridge. I'll go down in the swamps. We'll get that buck. We'll get that buck. We'll get that Michigan. We got somebody pass out? Is that what happened? Get him a water bottle. Pour it on him. Is he all right? Want me to come over there mouth to mouth? What do you want? I'll revive him. Is he all right? You need a doctor? They took all my tools away. I can't help. You got a doctor coming over there? This happens every time I play Fred Bear. Women have babies. People pass out. Is he all right? Should I stop joking about this? What's this? I don't like that prognosis. Is the doctor coming? We good? We got a thumbs up? All right. All right. You see, I told you there's a spirit to that song. Couldn't handle the spirit. So thank you for even having me here tonight. Do you want the definitive proof? The definitive proof that Donald Trump needs to be the president, that he's qualified to be the president, and that he's got the cojones to be the commander-in-chief? You want proof? You want the ultimate proof? He invited Ted Nugent here tonight. That's all the proof you need. Because, man, you gotta have some to invite me here. Because I'm radical. I'm an extremist. I believe we have an experiment in self-government. How radical. I believe that we, the people, determine the destiny of America, that our elected employees work for us. I'm radical. I believe that the U.S. Constitution is written in stone and blood, and it is not translatable, it is not alterable. The Supreme Court cannot mess with our Constitution. They're supposed to just obey it and enforce it. I don't need the Bill of Rights to know that God gave me individual rights. He gave this guitar player individual rights, and our founding fathers wrote them down because the kings didn't acknowledge them. The kings and the tyrants didn't respect them. So we left the kings and the tyrants, and we came here, and now in 2016, this country is now led by a king and a tyrant. And I say it's time to end it now. And here's a little something for Hillary Clinton and her sheep. Keep means it's mine, you can't have it. Bear means I got two on me and they're loaded. And if you keep infringing on us, we'll arrest you and put you in jail where you belong because you work for us. I'm 68 years old, and I'm a happy man. I'm happy here tonight because I see real Michigan coming alive and taking it away from the blue punks who have turned this in to a Jennifer Granholm, Mayor Kwame joke. How dare Michigan turn blue like Illinois and California? We're not Illinois. We're not California. We're Michigan. So I'm a happy man in November. I'm a happy man to see the fire and the passion and the energy. God bless you all. Tomorrow's the day, heroes of the military, because I owe them. We all owe them because freedom is not free. I spend a lot of time with military families crying around graves. I salute hundreds and hundreds of flag-draped coffins in Fallujah and Baghdad and Tikrit and Taji and Kandahar. Freedom is not free. And every one of those amazing American military warrior heroes, they charged into that war on terror for us. And a whole bunch of them would like to be in the woods in Michigan in November, but they gave the ultimate sacrifice and they're gone now. And a lot of them gave up their leg and their eyes and their skin, but not their spirit. And I know that when I hang out with them around the campfire, we got some military heroes right now at our camp. And I promise them that I'm not the only radical, that working hard, playing hard Michiganiacs are equally as radical for freedom and to give back to those heroes. And here's all they want. Here's all they want. They want you to vote the Constitution. They want you to vote the Bill of Rights. And I do not solicit political comments from any of them. But around a Michigan deer hunting campfire, you don't have to solicit anything, do you? The spirit flows. Honesty is unabated. It's uninhibited. It's real. It's honest. And you know what they tell me? They're heartbroken that their buddies died at the hands of a commander-in-chief who didn't let them national anthem. Can I do that? My name is Ted Nugent, and I studied the Hillary Clinton national anthem for her zombie supporters, and I would like to sing a few bars of it. It goes like this. Meh, 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 meh. Give me, meh, meh. Isn't that a lovely song? Am I out of line here, Hoekstra? What the hell? The GOP needs me bad. You know that, don't you? So, I will leave you with this. There were some animal rights people out front here earlier. No, really. If you smoke enough dope, you can think animals have rights. And on the way in,
He is the only candidate that will fight for the American worker all the way till the end.
all the answers already, don't you? So thank you for having the old guitar player here. I believe in the American dream. I believe that Donald Trump means what he says.
What a goober. He's the goofball.
The court is on the ballot. If you cherish the Constitution and the God-given liberties enshrined there, you better think with all the heart about that. Elect Hillary Clinton as President of the United States, you better get used to more unelected judges using unaccountable power to legislate from the bench. But you elect Donald Trump as President of the United States, you're going to have men and women appointed to the Supreme Court and the courts across this country that will strictly construe the Constitution of the United States of America in the tradition of the late and great Justice Antonin Scalia. So men and women of Michigan, for the sake of the rule of law, for the sake of limited government, for the sake of the sanctity of life, for the sake of our Second Amendment and the right to keep and bear arms, for the sake of all the God-given liberties enshrined in our Constitution, we have to decide here and now that the next president to make appointments to the Supreme Court of the United States will be President Donald Trump. So on this election day, and how cool is it to see all of you out, and it's after midnight. It is November the 8th, the day we make America great again. I just would encourage you as his motorcade heads this way. And I'm going to pop back out, introduce the man himself. But I want to encourage you to do three things on this election day. Number one, vote. Bring a friend. Friends don't let friends vote alone. Go exercise that franchise that has been bought at such a high price and preserved through the generations for you. And vote to bring real change to America by making Donald Trump the President of the United States. And in the time that remains in this election, after you take care of your own vote, be sure to go tell somebody what this election is about. Because I don't really see this election as a choice between Republican and Democrat or liberal and conservative. I think it's like Ronald Reagan said years ago, it's a choice between up and down. It's choice between whether we're going to continue to go down the hill to a weaker America at home and abroad, a more hollowed-out American military, an America stifled by more taxes, more regulation, more Obamacare, walking farther away from our highest constitutional principles, or whether we're going to stop here in Michigan, plant our feet, turn around, and march back up the hill to a stronger America at home and abroad, a more vibrant American economy for this generation and the next, and an American grounded in our highest American ideals. That's the choice. And lastly, as you make plans to vote, you make plans to tell somebody. Have faith. Have faith in the people of Michigan and the American people to choose right. I mean, I truly do believe as you study the long and storied history of this country, you find that every time the American people have had a clear choice between a future built on our highest ideals and built on American strength, the American people will choose American ideals and American strength every single time. So have faith in our people. And if you're of a mind to exercise that other kind of faith, I encourage you to do that too. If you do like Karen and I do from time to time, you bow the head or bend the knee, it'd be a good time to do it in these challenging times. But let me be clear on this point. Well, I encourage you to pray. I'm here for the ticket. I'm here for the team. I'm here for the movement. But on this one, I think Abraham Lincoln had it right. Abraham Lincoln was asked in his time if he thought God was on his side. And Abraham Lincoln said, you know, I rather concern myself more with whether we're on God's side than that God is on our side. So just pray for our country. Pray for America. Because America matters. It truly does. And as I slip backstage and get ready to welcome my running mate, the next time you see me, you'll see him. I'll make you a promise. If on this election day you go do everything that you can do, talk to your friends and neighbors, exercise your franchise, lay out that challenge, I'll make you a promise. That man is ready. This team is ready. This movement is obviously ready. If you go out and make sure that Michigan is ready, we will elect Donald Trump as the 45th president of the United States of America, and we will make America great again. Let's go get it done today, Michigan. Thank you, and God bless you.
Your last stand against mine. Violence will oppose creation to ascertain the cost of your mistake. Nothing changes so far as you can see, so deep as you can feel, and your heart aches like an 18-wheeler rolled over on the highway. And time doesn't stop for the hitchhiker who's looking for a reason. On the run again, told your soul again, buy it back again tonight with the precious blood. When the queen is jaded and the king has gone mad, where does the jester go?
So it's now officially Tuesday, November 8th. Did you ever think you'd be hearing a major speech like at around close to 1 o'clock in the morning? Are we crazy? Is this crazy? It's crazy. But you know, we just saying what's going on. Today we're going to win the great state of Michigan, and we are going to win back the White House. We're hours away from a once-in-a-lifetime change. We're going to have real change, not Obama change. I want to begin tonight by thanking all of you and all of the people in this incredible movement. You know, it's a movement like has never happened in this country before. It's a movement that nobody's ever seen before. Even these people, they talk about it. It's one of the great political phenomena. Many of them have said it. Even some of them who truly, truly dislike me. They've said this is one of the great phenomena. I mean, look at this place at almost 1 o'clock in the morning. Look at it. So, I love Michigan. And I was the man of the year or something like 4 or 5 years ago. And I came here, and I have so many friends in Michigan, but I came here to get the award. They asked me to make a speech. I made a speech. And I talked about how Michigan, they're ripping your auto companies apart. They're taking your jobs. They're closing your plants. And they're moving them to Mexico and other places, but mostly to Mexico in this case. And I talked about that. And everybody liked me in Michigan. I said, but, you know, we have to do something about it. But I wasn't a politician. But I talked about it, and I kept talking about it and talking about it and talking. And then I see Ford moving a big plant. And then Ford just 2 weeks ago announcing their small cars are going to be produced and made entirely in Mexico. And it's getting worse and worse. And I developed a great relationship with the people of Michigan. So the reason I'm here is that I thought New Hampshire was going to be my last speech. And I heard that crooked Hillary Clinton was coming to Michigan. I said, let's follow it up. Let's follow it up. I said there's no place I'd rather be for my last rally right here in Michigan, late at night, and full of energy and life. Boy, do we have energy and life. Wow. Although this is our last rally of this campaign, it's almost hard to believe. We started a year and a half ago. We started with 17 very talented people, governors, senators, Dr. Ben Carson, great guy, a lot of talented people. And one by one, and most of them have been terrific and give us great support. Ben Carson's one of them, as you know. But who would have thought? And now we have one flawed candidate left to beat. One flawed candidate. It's going to be the very beginning of a new adventure. Because the new adventure, we have to win. We have to go out and vote. But the new adventure is making America great again. We're going to do it. After we win, I'm going to be coming back to Michigan a lot. I'm going to be coming back every time we open a new factory or a new automobile plant, and we will do it. And we'll do a lot of expansion. We're going to do a lot of expansion. I know exactly what to do, folks. We're not going to lose your jobs anymore. We're not going to lose your jobs anymore. We are going to bring back the automobile industry to Michigan, bigger and better and stronger than ever before. You've been mistreated. Michigan now stands at the crossroads of history. If we win Michigan, we will win this historic election, and then we truly will be able to do all of the things we want to do. They won't be taking our jobs any longer. They won't be doing the things they've been doing to us. We'll end up having great health care, strong borders, We'll build up our military. We have no choice. We have a depleted military. We'll be able to do the things we want to do. When you step into that voting booth today, it's now today, there is one core question for you to consider. Do you want America to be ruled by the corrupt political class? Or do you want America to be ruled by you, the people? That's what it is, by the people. It's the way it was supposed to have been for a long time. We've lost track. And for Michigan, we will bring back your automobile production, and we will bring back your industry. Wait till you see what we do for Michigan. I've been talking about it for a long time. Crooked Hillary has not talked about it, folks. She doesn't know where to begin. She talked about bringing industry back to New York State when she was a New York State senator. Let me tell you, not only didn't it come back, look at upstate New York. It's a disaster. It got worse. People fled, companies fled. It's a disaster. The corrupt politicians and their special interests have ruled over this country for a very long time. Today is our Independence Day. Today, the American working class is going to strike back, finally. Real change begins with immediately repealing and replacing the disaster known as Obamacare. It's just been announced that the residents of Michigan are going to experience a massive double-digit premium hike like you wouldn't believe. Not going to matter that much, honestly, because we're going to terminate it. You're not going to have to worry about it, okay? Don't worry. Now, on the other hand, if something horrible happens tomorrow, get ready to pay a lot more than you're even paying now. But that's not going to happen. I'm looking at that fantastic young lady right there. She's shaking her head. No way, no way. Not going to happen, right? Good. Not going to happen. Now, I don't think you're going to have to worry about the premiums. But with Obamacare, premiums are surging. Companies are leaving. Insurers are fleeing. Doctors are quitting. And deductibles are going right through the roof. Yet Hillary Clinton wants to double down on Obamacare, making it even more expensive. And it doesn't work. It's no good. I'm asking for your vote so we can repeal and replace Obamacare and save health care for every family in Michigan and throughout the United States of America. We have to do it. We don't have a choice. Real change also means restoring honesty to our government. So the first thing we should do, let's get rid of Hillary. Okay, that's probably, that would be a very good first step. That's a good first step. Hillary Clinton is the most corrupt person ever to seek the office of the presidency of the United States. She is being protected by a totally rigged system that I've been talking about for a long time. It's a rigged system. Now it's up to the American people to deliver justice at the ballot box. And I don't have to say, do it tomorrow, do it in a week. You're going to do it today. You'll go to sleep for a couple of hours, right? Go to sleep. You go to sleep for a couple of hours. You wake up, you cast you. Then you can go back to sleep or go to work. You people don't go to sleep. You'll go back to work. I know my people. You'll get up after about 2 hours. You'll vote and you'll go to work. Michigan people. I know. I have so many friends here. They work. They don't stop. We are finally going to close the history books on the Clintons and their lies and schemes and corruption. We will open a bright new chapter focused on you, the American people. My contract with the American voter begins with a plan to end government corruption and to take our country back from the special interests. I want the entire corrupt Washington establishment to hear our words, when we say, you know what we're going to say? We're going to win today, and we're going to Washington, D.C. to drain the swamp. Absolutely. You probably heard me say it. Drain the swamp. Oh, this is beautiful. Isn't it too bad that the corrupt media never show the crowds? You know, it is like almost 1 in the morning and we have, I think they said 18,000 people here. Every corner, look at this. Every corner. And you know what they'll say? Donald Trump is speaking before a crowd of people. These people are the worst. He's speaking in front of a few thousand people. At the core of my contract is my plan to bring back our jobs. The trade policies of Hillary Clinton, from NAFTA to China to Korea to the Trans-Pacific Partnership, which, by the way, is a disaster, have raided your factories, crushed your auto industry, and gutted your communities. You know it. And she's not, look, folks, honestly, you can give her a shot. You're wasting your time. You're wasting your time. She's not going to be able to do the job. She's not going to be able to do the job. Just look at her record. But forget her record. Not going to be able to do the job. She doesn't have a clue. Michigan has lost more than 1 in 4 of its manufacturing jobs since NAFTA. A deal signed by Bill Clinton and supported by his lovely wife, Hillary. Right? Right? By the way, you know who I spotted in the audience? Mayor Rudolph Giuliani. Rudy Giuliani. He's got energy, that guy. He's all over the place, going from place to place to place. Got a lot of energy, a lot of this up here, too. America has lost, listen to this, 70,000 factories. 70,000! Not 700, not 7,000. 70,000 factories since China entered the World Trade Organization. Another Bill and Hillary-backed disaster. We are living through the greatest jobs theft in the history of the world. There's never been anything like this. Our jobs are being stolen like candy from a baby. Not going to happen anymore, folks. There are going to be consequences. There are going to be, when they fire our people, our great people who have been working for 25, 30 years at these companies, they fire our people. There are going to be consequences. It doesn't work that way. Not anymore. And the politicians have been working on this problem for 15 years, for 20 years, and it's so simple to solve. Delphi laid off 3,627 workers and moved their jobs to Mexico and other countries. FTE Automotive laid off 166 workers in Auburn Hills, beautiful place, and move their jobs to Mexico. Chrysler laid off 5,300 workers and moved their jobs to Mexico, China, and to other countries. Ford laid off 2,155 workers and moved their jobs to Mexico and many other countries. Now Ford is moving all of its small car production to Mexico. Isn't that wonderful? It used to be the cars were made in Flint and you couldn't drink the water in Mexico. Now the cars are made in Mexico and you can't drink the damn water in Flint. What the hell? Man. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Is that true though or what? Unbelievable. You know, I have a friend, he's the biggest in the world at building plants. That's what he does, he builds plants. If you said, build an apartment, he wouldn't know what to do. He builds plants, the biggest plants in the world, most sophisticated plants, all kinds of plants. I said, how are you doing? He's from this country. Loves this country, loves this whole area, loves you people. He wants to do them here. So I said to him, let me ask you, how are you doing? He said, unbelievable. I said, oh, that's good. That's good. Where are you doing? Well, Mexico. I said, what about our country? Not so good. He said, Donald, you have to see what we're doing in Mexico. We're building some of the greatest plants anywhere in the world. And I said, isn't this sad? Isn't this pathetic? We're going to change it around. I want Mexico to build great plants, but we're going to build great plants also. It's got to be a two-way street, folks. Got to be a two-way street. And right now, it's a one-lane highway right into these other countries. They take our money. They take our jobs. They build their plants. They build their factories. We end up with unemployment and drugs. That's what we end up with. Not going to happen any longer. A Trump administration will stop the jobs from leaving America, and we will stop the jobs from leaving Michigan. That I can tell you 100%. If Ford or another company wants to fire their workers in Michigan and move to another country and ship their products back into the United States, I will pick up the phone myself if I can, because I love it. They don't want me to do that, folks. I want to do it. It's so easy. I love doing it. It's like I'm a natural. But I'll have plenty of great representatives. But I'm going to do it every once in a while. I don't care. Because I love it. We'll be calling the executives at Ford or whatever company is. And we'll tell them very nicely that if they want to move their factory or their plant to another country, they will have to pay a 35% tax when they sell their cars or their product back into the United States through what will soon be a very, very powerful border. So they'll pay a tax, and here's what's going to happen. 100%. Nobody's moving, folks. They're not going to move. They're not going to move, okay? Just think of it. Don't worry about it. We'll build a wall. Don't worry about it. A Trump administration will renegotiate NAFTA, and if we don't get the deal we want, we will terminate NAFTA and get a much better deal for our workers and our companies, 100%. We will also immediately stop the job-killing Trans-Pacific Partnership, which Hillary Clinton called the gold standard. And she lied. Look, she lied during the debate. By the way, did Trump win the debate? Did Trump win the debate? And by the way, he's here. Did Mike Pence win the debate? was that an easy debate? It wasn't easy. It wasn't easy. But he certainly made it look easy, didn't he? How good is this guy? Wow. Honestly, I felt so sorry for Tim Kaine. That was like a great football team playing your local high school football players. So Hillary lied about it. She said it was the gold standard, and we caught her in the lie and all of that. But when you think about it, it is the gold standard. It's the gold standard for the other countries, not for us, for the other countries we're doing business with. Can't do it. Hillary will pass the TPP. She will absolutely pass it, which will destroy the rest of the auto industry. Believe me, it will, just mark my words, it will destroy. They don't even talk about currency manipulation in TPP, and they didn't want to because it was taken out. Because some of our politicians wanted it taken out, their number one weapon. They wanted it taken out because the special interests take care of our politicians, folks. But they're not taking care of me. I've spent a fortune on this campaign. And I'll tell you, I told this to Mike Pence. If we don't win, because everyone's saying unbelievable, unbelievable, it doesn't matter if you win or lose, there's never been a movement like this. I said, let me just tell you, stop right there. If we don't win, this will be the single greatest waste of time, energy, and money in my life. We have to win. To do what we have to do, we have to win. We can't just have something that looks wonderful in the history books in 30 years. As part of our plan to bring back jobs, we are going to lower taxes on American business from 35% to 15%. We will massively cut taxes for the middle class. Hillary Clinton wants to raise your taxes very significantly. Think of it. We're the highest taxed nation in the world, and she wants to raise your taxes. And we will rebuild our inner cities. I know so much about Detroit. I know so much about the inner cities. The African American community, the Hispanic community, has been treated horribly for a long time. The politicians, in the case of the inner cities, virtually all Democrats, for over 100 years sometimes, chain unbroken. What they've done is they come in, they get your vote, and then they say, see you in 4 years, I'll see you in 4 years. We're going to fix our inner cities. Right now, they're so unsafe. You walk to the store to pick up a loaf of bread, you get shot. You get shot. You know, in Chicago, thousands and thousands of shootings since January 1st. The inner cities are unbelievably dangerous. The education is no good. The safety is horrible, and there are no jobs. And I tell everybody, what the hell do you have to lose? I'm going to fix it. We will fix it. We will fix it. Vice President Mike Pence will be involved, and he is so enthused about this. There is such potential. We have such potential in the people. I'm talking about the people. There's such potential there. We will fix it. Remember that. We will become a rich nation once again. But to be a rich nation, we must also be a safe nation. Hillary Clinton wants a 550% increase in Syrian refugees pouring into our country. And virtually unlimited immigration from the most dangerous regions of the world, including regions overrun and controlled by ISIS. Her plan will import generations of terrorism, extreme extremism and radicalism into your schools and throughout your communities. When I'm elected president, we will suspend the Syrian refugee program, and we will keep radical Islamic terrorists the hell out of our country 100%. We have no choice. We have no choice. But we all have big hearts, and we will build safe havens in Syria, and we'll get the Gulf states. They have nothing but money. They have nothing but money. We will get them to pay for it. We owe $20 trillion right now. We're not going to pay for it. We're going to get the Gulf states to pay for it. We'll manage it. We'll take care of people. But they can't come into our country. We have enough problems, okay? Here in Michigan, you've seen firsthand the problems caused with the refugee program, with large numbers of poorly vetted refugees pouring into your state without your knowledge, without your support, or without your approval. Nobody even knows where people are being placed. A Trump administration will not admit any refugees without the support of the local community where they're being placed. A Trump administration will also secure and defend the borders of the United States. And yes, we will build a great, great wall. So, I just want to ask you one question, if you don't mind, at 1 o'clock in the morning. Who is going to pay for the wall? 100%. They don't know it yet, but they're going to pay. Now, we're going to have a great relationship with Mexico, but right now it's a one-way street. We can't have that. We can't have that. They're going to pay for the wall. Hillary supports totally open borders, there goes your country, and strongly supports sanctuary cities like San Francisco, where Kate Steinle was murdered by an illegal immigrant, deported at least 5 times. A Trump administration will end this nightmare of violence and end it quickly. We will stop illegal immigration, deport all criminal aliens, and dismantle every last criminal gang and cartel threatening our wonderful citizens. We're going to do it easily, quickly. We will also repeal the Obama-Clinton defense sequester and rebuild our badly depleted military. There haven't been many times when we needed more. I'm honored to have the endorsement of more than 200 top admirals and generals and 22 Medal of Honor recipients, and that list just grew a lot larger today. Hillary Clinton and our failed establishment have dragged us into foreign wars that have made us less safe, shipped our wealth overseas to other countries, and left our borders at home totally wide open. That will change when we win the presidency. That will change. That will change. It has to change. It has to change. From now on, it's going to be America first. America first. And just in summing up, to all Americans I say, it is time for change. It is time for leadership. Just think about what we can accomplish in the first 100 days of a Trump administration. We're going to have the largest tax cut since Ronald Reagan. And Hillary wants to raise your taxes. We will eliminate every unnecessary job-killing regulation. We'll cancel every illegal Obama executive order. We will protect religious liberty. And yesterday it was Billy Graham's 98th birthday, meaning an hour ago. Yesterday meaning an hour ago. But he's a great, great man, and his son Franklin has been so amazing. But I wanted to mention Billy Graham, 98 years old, amazing. We're going to rebuild our military and take care of our veterans who have not been taken care of properly. We are going to take care of our vets. It's about time, believe me, it's about time. We're going to provide school choice and put an end to Common Core. We're bringing education local. We will support the great men and women of law enforcement. We will save our Second Amendment, which is under siege, and appoint justices to the United States Supreme Court who will uphold and defend the Constitution of the United States. The election is now. The election is now. Can you believe it? It's today. It's today. It's unbelievable. You can make every dream you've ever dreamed for your country and your family come true. You have one magnificent chance to beat this corrupt, rigged system and to deliver justice for every forgotten man and forgotten woman and forgotten child in this nation. We are fighting for every citizen who believes that government should serve the people, not the donors and not the special interests. And we are fighting to bring us all together as Americans. We're living in a divided nation. We're living in a very divided nation. We're going to be brought together. Just imagine what our country could accomplish if we started working together as one people under one God, saluting one American flag, right? I'm asking you to dream big, because with your vote, we are just hours away from the change you've been waiting for your entire life. So to every parent who dreams for their child, and to every child who dreams for their future, I say these words to you tonight. I am with you, I will fight for you, and I will win for you, I promise. To all Americans tonight, in all of our cities and in all of our towns, I pledge to you one more time, together, we will make America wealthy again. We will make America strong again. We will make America safe again. And we will make America great again. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. God bless you, everybody. Go to bed. Go to bed right now. Get up and vote. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Michigan. We love you. We'll be back. Let's win. Thank you.
months. Trump's music has been really rocking off the rocking. Those guitars, those shredding guitars, man. Vote for the guy that's got the guitars. Tomorrow is America Vote Day. They're gonna get around to that in America. Oh man. I'm just gonna go back to playing this music. True patriots.
that Malin was abducted, these are the only two men who they have not been able to track down and be able to question. Now you look at the other people. Hey guys, there's an updated image actually that I sent you. That's an old one. There's an updated image. They found the other people. Anthony Weiner, Christine Maxwell. Go ahead, girls.
Yeah, I mean, if you notice, even in the police sketch, there's like a little mole above Tony Podesta's eye, and it's even in the police sketch, like down to that little detail, which is something that we noticed, and we're like, whoa, you know, that's, I mean, couldn't that really be a coincidence? Yeah. But there was actually an anonymous Redditor who put together a massive pile of evidence today connecting Hillary Clinton, Barack Obama, George Soros, Tony, and
then the
John
spirit,
Podesta.
the spirit cooking woman.
Yeah, Marina
Abramovich.
Yeah, but all of them to the man who owns Comet Ping Pong, that restaurant. His name is James. Do you remember his name? I can't remember his name.
Friends with David Brock.
Yes, and David Brock as well. And so he kind of aggregated all these evidence with all these links. I tweeted it out. A lot of people were tweeting this out. And there's even pictures. So this man who owns Comet Ping Pong used to just kind of blatantly post really disturbing images on his Instagram and, you know, of children and all these things, and, you know, make these really
suggestive hashtags.
Yes,
kind of
with them. And so what happened was when people started, you know, catching on to him, he deleted everything. Yeah. But, you know, the internet doesn't forget. So it was all archived. Yeah. And so people were able to put all of this together. And I mean, when you go through it, it is absolutely mind-blowing. Hillary Clinton wrote him a personal email, even, which they have a screenshot of.
No, I think it was a card.
Yeah,
it was a card.
Just everything, it's all there, and it's so disturbing. A lot of people, though, have been, like, we've been pursuing this and tweeting a lot about this, but today more we did a little.
That good was just, and so was right from wrong.
And right now we're kind of just trying to get pro-Trump hashtags, trying to like MAGA and stuff like that. So, but yeah, a lot of people are.
That good was just, and so was right
American citizens take what we have access to, do a little research, a little investigating of ourselves on our own. And here's what we found. Again, you be the judge here, folks. I'm just going to point out the facts, and then you two add whatever I forgot. We've got strange emails from the WikiLeaks talking about pizza and cheese and hot dogs. Clearly appears to be some sort of coded word language. It's alleged that this is the language pedophiles use. We have renderings of men and a woman who were on the scene when Madeleine McCann was abducted. Every rendering can be matched to someone involved with Hillary Clinton. This is undeniable stuff, folks. Again, you be the judge. I'm pointing out the facts. We then can trace all of this, all of these people, to Comet P. Tweeting weird, sick pictures of young girls making a joke out of it. We have Tony Podesta, who has weird artistic, quote unquote, it's really pedophilia art in his home. We have a known Satanist who invites these people to dinner. And then perhaps the coup de grace. Joe Biden gives Barack Obama a friendship bracelet with a slice of pizza charm. Folks, again, I'm laying out the evidence for you. You be the judge. We have a legitimate cause for concern here that these people may be involved in pedophilia, okay? I'm just gonna throw it out there. Did I leave anything else out?
No.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much information here. Actually, some things, I was kind of going around 4chan today, and I found a couple threads, and one of them had a big stash of all of the photos that were on the Instagram of the man who owns Comet Ping Pong. Yeah. And so there was one that I saw it was a piece of pizza, and on it there was two people in like a sexually explicit, position, and he was like, come join us at, Comet Ping Pong, just like alluding to this. It's so, blatantly obvious at this point. I mean, when you just look at it, it's highly disturbing. And there was another picture I found about a young girl in a dress, and it was like, there was a tagline he put over it, a phrase, something like, she has a beautiful face, but we only care about the pizza. Something like that. I found all the photos, and I mean, we're going to start, tweeting on this out and working on this later. But, I mean, people on this book really very determined, and which is wonderful, because all of this, they're all connected. They're all connected, and it's really horrific to think that all this has been going on, and now only through WikiLeaks and we're only thinking about it, and kind of just horrifying to think that if Obama isn't stated and stuff, that he's not a president. It's just all these things.
Think about this. Even let's say there is no child pedophilia going on, actual sexual actions with these people. Nonetheless, what we actually have is still disturbing, whatever it is. Maggie?
Oh my gosh. Well, first of all, let me just say, you two ladies are at the tip of the spear of this, and the citizen journalism going on. I am so incredibly proud of you both. Just an honor to talk to you. My sister is so obsessed with both of you. She has been sending me your tweets all weekend long. Literally, you're breaking this information for people that maybe don't have a chance to look at it. You're really sending clear-cut messages that people can understand. My question would be, why do you think that mainstream media, we've got all this amazing information, don't you find it frustrating? You're putting your necks out on the line, putting this online for people in the public. They're not doing that. Why do you think they don't give a crap so badly? I mean, is it really about protecting all of this evil for them, do you think?
I think that once you reach a point that, like, for many people, some of my tweets have been, getting quite big, so I see a lot of the comments, a lot of the Trump supporters will kind of funnel into them, and I see that the confirmation bias is just incredible. Like, this evidence, like, I tweeted, that Donald Reddit whole thing with the guy who put together the pedophilia thing, and also, some really disturbing pictures, and people are like, well, move on, this is nothing, you're all just, crazy right-wing nut conspiracy theorists, and I'm like, it's right there. Like, how far do you have to go to show people committed that?
It's like they gotta get raped. These people have to be raped, okay? They have to have Hillary Clinton start a war. They have to literally see Hillary Clinton take a child, or John Podesta take a child right in front of them. They have to go to Comet Pizza to actually see this crap to believe it. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt. Answer the case.
Yeah, and then on the other hand, Bill Clinton, like with Juanita Broaddrick, and the other like poor women who have been, raped or sexually assaulted by him. No one believes them, and yet they came out so many years ago against him.
Right.
It's not like
It's just like the same thing. It's like the same thing with Danny Williams. Here, this guy for his whole life has been trying to find out who his father is. That's it. This has nothing to do with politics. This isn't a political move. He's just trying to get to know his dad, and then he has absolute pieces of crap like Olivia Newsy. Oh, why are you just starting this movement now? No, he's been doing this for 10 years. Hey, Olivia Newsy, why don't you ask the Donald Trump accusers, why are you just accusing Trump now? Oh, because they haven't been doing it for years. The double standard on the anti-Trump side of things is so infuriating.
Well, that's what the political science is just
Can I just interject here? Does it not make you sick to know that these are the people that are running the country? This is it. Reading this stuff, you're so disappointed. You're like, wait a second. I thought you were intellectual. I thought you were smarter than I am. I thought you had more virtue than I did. I thought you were better than I am. That's why you're in the position that you're in. And wait a second. No, you're just really, really, really they're afraid to question it, you know, and I empathize with people like that because you got to get to a place where you're okay enough to question people in power. And that takes some guts, and I really commend the two of you because it's gutsy what you're doing, and you're excavating, you know, it's wonderful to see it, but a lot of people, they don't have the guts out there. It just doesn't exist yet, and hopefully this is encouraging to them, but it's just amazing to see you two out front going, you know what, we don't really give a damn, we're doing it anyway, and here's what we found.
Well, at this point, yeah, it's actually, like I said before, a group effort. Like, for example, my friend Baldwin, the fourth, he actually is the one who found all the info on Jake Tapper yesterday, which was amazing because a lot of people, like, you know, are like, you know, we know what you are, and so the fact that he found that, you know, everyone was very, you know, happy about that, and he was very proud, and I was very proud of him. So yeah, he did a great job with that.
You know,
But yeah.
The crazy thing is to me, because as Margaret has pointed out, you and the team that you have assembled have done such a great job going through these WikiLeaks. And really, I mean, just the general public, I mean, young high school people who are interested in the future of this country, going through the WikiLeaks, looking for all the corruption, finding it. I mean, actually finding evidence. And yet, you know, here we are on the eve of the election, and we're still supposed to believe that Hillary Clinton is not a rotted husk of a former human corpse. But I'm just curious because we didn't even have enough time to fully ingest Project Veritas videos. We don't even have enough time to fully ingest the last round of WikiLeaks, DNC leaks, all of this stuff. We don't have enough time to digest it. You know, I'm just curious, and I'm wondering what your guys' opinion is on this, because it seems like with each WikiLeaks, it gets more and more intense, more and more extreme, more and more demonic. I mean, literally. What is next? Are we even going to have time to digest what we've just discussed?
That's the thing. It's so much information, we don't even know where to focus. That's the thing. There's just so much. And the thing is, why isn't the MSM covering this? Like, WikiLeaks is verified. So these things coming out, why is no one reporting on them and, you know, holding Hillary Clinton accountable for these things? Like, no one's being held accountable unless, you know, it's Donald Trump. It's just the bias is so obvious that it has to make you question a lot. I actually tweeted out a WikiLeaks today where it was, they mentioned in it, you know, the Washington elites are almost uniformly believe that Hillary Clinton is going to be elected. Like, it was just in the basket, basically. It's what they've all believed, you know, until Donald Trump, you know, he rose up and, you know, shook him up a bit.
Well, on the note of accountability, I think it was John Flynn and Scott Adams, who writes the Dilbert comics, they tweeted out something similar. They were saying, we're not just voting this election, we're acting as the jury, basically. I thought that was so awesome. So when we go to those voting booths tomorrow, you know, whoever hasn't voted yet and vote for Donald Trump, we know that Donald Trump is going to serve justice, you know.
With one vote. And despite what the brainwashed ninnies want to say, the entire establishment is against Trump. So even if he gets in, the media is going to be on top of him all day. He won't be able to get away with anything.
Yeah, that's what Tim was talking about. We've been talking about this. I've been talking to a lot of the bigger accounts on Twitter lately, and everyone is acknowledging the fact that it's not over for Trump to win. There's going to be many months where he's going to need this kind of network, this strong social media presence that's, you know, sprung up in defense of him, but it's preparing the objective and will admit when he doesn't win. But, you know, just trying to be objective and to help him fight that so clearly. Yeah, I mean, it's amazing. It's made such an impact, definitely.
I'm so encouraged just listening to them, Owen. I really am.
Well, look, I mean, here's the deal. I don't even remember when I first talked guys. I don't even remember what it was, but you know, you guys weren't even really involved much in politics at all. You were writing your book series. You decided to put that aside for at least this election cycle because you believed that this determined the future of the country. You didn't think you would have a chance to be an author until Hillary Clinton down the road. But I mean, let's talk about that. Something to say, actually having some gravity in this election cycle.
Yeah, well, the thing is, we've always really been into this. We've been following the elections so closely. We watch you guys like every night. You know, all the, you know, Breitbart, Drudge, every day. We just never spoke. So it's basically like when we finally came out, it was like everything came out full force. But I will mention that we would be nowhere without like seriously, we've had so much support from wonderful people. Like Mike Cernovich has been so kind, Jared Wyand, and so many people. Yeah, you're the first. I know, you're the first. You wrote us and asked to interview us, and that was it. Yeah. So we have to say thank you so much to you and Alex Jones, InfoWars. I know. We would love to be Alex one day, by the way, just because it'd be really amazing. I don't know, because we've watched you for so long. So yeah.
Well, that's great. I'm glad that you girls have decided to speak out. You guys have made a great impact. And, you know, the beauty of it is for me, and I don't know how much you've experienced with this, but, and maybe you can attest to some of this too, but, you know, for me, since I've become outspoken and started getting involved in politics, it's amazing to see the inspirational impact that I have. Not, you know, okay, you know, I'm not going to be the guy that can, you know, take down an entire establishment, right? But if I can start to inspire people, if I can inspire one person, if I can inspire two people, and then they go inspire two people, and then they go inspire two people, and then they go inspire two people, that's how you start a true revolution of ideas, a true movement of thought, and this is what we're witnessing now with the Donald Trump movement, and that's why I don't think it stops after this election. No matter what the result is, Trump wins, Trump loses, this movement has way too much momentum. This is going to have a serious impact
comes out, and it's just. I mean, a wonderful person from Serbia who was helping me go through WikiLeaks, and it was just like, well, I want to see the Clintons go down. You know, it's awesome. Well, it's awesome.
Well, the Clintons have committed crimes in tons of other countries.
They've impacted the world. Yeah. So it's
but to the people that are thinking of speaking out, really, the hardest part is just the first step. It's that first step, and the thing is, a lot of it is mental fear. Like it's in your mind. It's built up because. I mean, I can't speak for everyone because everyone's in a different situation. You might risk your finances. Things can depend on your circumstances. But we actually had the means. And when you take that first step, the rest, it's so liberating. And it's been just so amazing. We keep saying, oh, we wish we came out way back, a year ago.
What were we doing?
Well, the greatest enemy is the enemy that you don't know exists. And people know the enemy exists now. And I think Donald Trump has been a major part of that. Margaret, how?
Well, let me just say, so you guys, you came out in full force. We're so glad that you did. Was there something that sparked it, or were you just sick and tired of the bull like the rest of us and just wanted to project the truth, tired of swallowing it and spitting it back out? You just wanted to get on the horn and just talk about the truth. What was it? You just finally just decided, okay, enough's enough?
That was basically it. Because I think the first time we went on InfoWars, we explained that we've been hoping to get our book published in the industry, the young adult industry, and we gave it so many chances. We have been doing it for years, and it kind of all just built up, and it came to that final moment. And we saw, I think it was just seeing what was happening in the election, seeing how dirty the mainstream media was fighting, all just the devious tactics, and we knew Trump was for real. When he starts calling out the globalists, he's for real. So we were just like, are we going to look back in how many years or whatever, and we did nothing? So, yeah, that's kind of what it was, and then it was, we knew the game was right.
And I mean, everyone, even who votes, is contributing. You're doing your part, and no one is asked to do more than voting. But anyone who even does the smallest thing, you are contributing. And I think, it's not about measuring, because it's not about individuals. This is about our country. It's about freedom. It's about preserving freedom. So it's not about an individual. It's a movement. We're all together, and we just have to look at it that way. And Trump, what he stands for, is a symbol of what we want our country to be. It's not just Trump himself.
Can I ask you, do you believe this? So we've come down to this one candidate who tells the truth at every turn, and then another candidate with a basket full of worms, so disgusting it's difficult to talk about. We're talking about Podesta, who's been accused of having a torture chamber in his house. We're talking about, the slimiest things that people could possibly be accused of, torturing, raping, and murdering children on one end, and then a man that goes around. Can you believe that we're in this fight right now? It's almost amazing that we're right here with, it literally is good versus evil, literally.
Yeah, completely. Yeah, it definitely is a spiritual war, and I think a lot of people, if they hadn't, thought it before, kind of acknowledged that is a possibility after the spirit cooking thing broke, because it's just, those people all believe in spirits, they're channeling spirits, and it is a spiritual war.
So I mean, even if some people don't believe in this stuff, they do, so just be aware of that. But also, I mean, as the spirit cooking broke, because what happened was I found this video that someone had posted on Reddit, I found it 30 minutes after it was posted. This was the spirit cooking thing. They put it all together with all the links from the WikiLeaks and the video of Marina. And so I found it right away just by chance, and I put it on Twitter, and it just it flew out. And when I woke up, spirit cooking was such a happy, and everyone's like, what is this? And I legitimately, there were people in my Twitter mentions tweeting me I'm atheist, but last night I got a Bible and read it for the first time today. We're really, really scared. And
the demons are coming out. I mean, literally, these people, the demons are coming out, and it's almost like at this point, they can't even help it. They have to try to harness even more power from these demons. I feel bad for, whoever they got locked up. I'll just leave it there. But, I mean, I really think that the demons are coming out. But here's the other thing. Spirit cooking. What the hell is a spirit cooking? I've never heard of a spirit cooking. I've never heard of art where you go up to some bathtub full of blood with a corpse in it, and you like take a spoon. I mean, what the heck? These people are sick freaks. I didn't even know this existed. That's another thing. If it wasn't for these emails, I think most people wouldn't even know that this even existed.
There are actually two disturbing things I found. If you want me to talk about them, I will. About the Podestas, there were some things I found. The first one was, you know, we all know he has like a really creepy, you know, art collection that a lot of, in his home, in his bedroom, that a lot of people are afraid of, you know, even visitors, they admitted in the WikiLeaks. And there was an article written on him about, Heather and Tony Podesta about their art collection, which was deleted, but I think it was Mike Cernovich who had it archived, and that's how I found it. And so basically he has this sculpture in his house, which is bent completely backwards.
The head is cut off.
Yeah, well, we actually got
Jeffrey Dahmer victim.
Yeah, the serial killer Jeffrey Dahmer. It was the same position he would put his victims in. Which was highly creepy when that came out. But I mean, just why would anyone do that? You know, I mean, it has to reflect your mind, I think, you know, having that in your home. But there was that, and there was another, which I think this is probably the most disturbing thing I found, that we found, all of us. But it was, we found a photo from the Comet Ping Pong owner's Instagram of a man in his 30s, and he was holding like a child to look. It was a boy, I think he was 1 or 2 years old, really small, and he hashtagged it chicken lovers. So what chicken means, it's gay slang for an underage boy. And so we hashtagged that. And then we also found in WikiLeaks, there was an actual quote about them saying, oh, I'm going to go in the backyard and sacrifice a chicken to Moloch, which is some pagan god that is. So there was that. It's just so disturbing. It's there. And it's real evidence. Like, investigate and be aware of like, what's going on, because it's all there and you can look for yourself. No one's making it up. It's all, you know, it's all available to you. You just have to make the decision to look into it.
How sold out the mainstream media is, folks, because we know the mainstream media will go to any length for ratings, especially right now when they're dying. They'll go to any length. We're talking about perhaps busting up an underground pedophile ring that has direct relations to a presidential candidate here, and there's radio silence. Completely nothing. And I'll tell you this, we're going to get you girls off air. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll take your final words in a second. But a minute ago, you were talking about how people from all around the world are hoping Donald Trump gets elected. Here's what it comes down to, folks. The reason why people around the world have become so disgusted with America is because we have become fat, stupid, ignorant, lazy, and we've built this amazing wealth, we've built this amazing country, and we've let Satanists use it to conquer the world, folks. Okay, that's why people have been sick of America. Now America's waking up. Now America's back. And people all around the world are hoping that once again America can be a bastion of freedom and justice in the world. So all it is that the whole world is looking at America and they're praying that we're not fat and stupid and ignorant enough to elect a known criminal like Hillary Clinton in. Final words from Nicole and Brittany Pettibone.
Well, we've been asleep at the wheel for a really long time as a country, letting our government get away with all sorts of things. But like you were saying on air before we came on, that you're thinking that Donald Trump is like a gift from God. We have this chance that when Donald Trump, if he gets in and is elected, like we were saying before, it's not going to be easy. But there's hope to like rebuild America. So
yeah, but a lot's going to have to be torn down first, and so I think there's a lot of obstacles that our country's going to have to go through because we've been, like you said, asleep at the wheel so long that you can't reverse that destruction overnight. So if we all just become aware that we have a lot of work to do, if we all work together and, you know, do our part, I think that, you know, we can reverse it eventually. And yeah, we have a shot. So, but
can you imagine, just really quickly, guys? So if for any reason we watch the defeat, Podesta stays in the camp, these sickos stay in power, it's almost unthinkable. It's unthinkable. It's upsetting. My God. Really? This is what it's come to. The sickos stay in power. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, I think that Yeah, there's many people that are aware of that, and just, I don't know, we'll have to see what happens. But a lot of people, I don't think, are very easily going to accept it if she's elected, because they know it's not about, oh well, I just don't agree with her. It's more like she could be, we know she's a criminal, and now apparently she's into the occultist rituals and all these things. So it's you can't really let that stand. Let it flourish, where we know that it exists.
Yeah, she wins, she'll stock the Supreme Court, and then America will never be the same. So,
Who knows what she'll do if she wins, but it's not going to be in the best interest of we the people. I know that that's the case. Thank you girls so much for joining us. You guys are truly a fine example to young women everywhere that are tuned in tonight and around the world and on Twitter. So thank you for fighting the good fight, and we'll know in just a couple of days the results of this election.
Yeah. Thank you so much for having us.
thank you.
Yeah.
All right, guys, go ahead, follow them on Twitter, Brittany Pettibone, Nicole Pettibone. You can find all of their great research into WikiLeaks and everything right there. And you can also find their work at tspettibone.com. We're going to take a quick break, but on the way out, guys, we had that video, the pizza and pedophiles video. So let's play that on the way out of this segment. We'll take a quick break. Let's go ahead and play the pizza and pedophiles video.
And we've all come together to celebrate the birth of our Lord. It wasn't Christmas.
By now you've heard of WikiLeaks and the emails leaked from John Podesta, Hillary's top advisor. These emails have contained several examples of corruption, law-breaking, collusion within the Clinton campaign and the federal government, and the media. They also reveal that John Podesta and his brother Tony Podesta participated in an occult black magic ritual called spirit cooking with Marina Abramovic. And then there's the pizza.
Welcome friendly people to Comet Pizza and Ping Pong. Have any of you enjoyed this special pizza here tonight? But no, she didn't. She held on to that child all the way to the end. And the fucked up thing was really, it was after it was born. I had to put that shit down.
You're probably wondering what the hell you just watched. You're probably also wondering why the hell a ping pong place owned by friends of the Podestas that Hillary Clinton has even held fundraisers at would also be hosting something as bizarre as this.
It's fucking cool. Everybody knows what happens with us. Babies. It's all right. It gets all the smells.
There's a good chance you've never heard of this because you're probably not a pedophile, but pizza is actually a term used by pedophiles to describe pedophilia or child porn. Like any other underworld, say like the mafia for example, the world of pedophilia has its own language. A language that's often reflected in Podesta's emails. Here's one example. A handkerchief pizza-related match? Okay. But what's really telling is they describe this pizza-related handkerchief map as a square cloth handkerchief that's white and black. This is significant because there actually is something called the handkerchief code. Black signifies S&M and bondage, and white signifies underage sex. Which, sure, if you don't know anything about John Podesta and his brother going to occult sex rituals, or Tony Podesta's sculpture in his home that is modeled after the poses that Jeffrey Dahmer put his victims in, or the artwork of Tony Podesta's favorite artist whose graphic paintings adorn his home, or the Clintons and Podesta's close ties to known pedophile Jeffrey Epstein, or Podesta's close friendship with pedophile Dennis Hastert, or the fact that the pizza place right next door has a logo that literally is listed in the FBI database as a symbol for pedophiles. And then, of course, there's this.
You want perks,
But now you know. Which makes the Instagram feed of the Comet Ping Pong's owner seem more than just a little bit creepy.
Well, folks, if that doesn't make you sick, I really don't know what does. And again, this is damning evidence that at the very least should require a statement from these people, a defense. And the lack of a statement, the lack of a defense is very damning against them. Not just their character, that they would ignore this entirely, but I think perhaps even an admission of guilt, that they wouldn't address this. The media won't address this. And I guess they think because they have the media in their pocket, they think that this is going to be ignored and that nobody's going to know any of this is going on. But as you can see in that video, folks, again, you be the judge. That is very damning evidence. Maggie.
I know.
It makes you sick.
I know. This is what people don't want to believe. They don't want to believe that these people in these nice clothes, that go to these nice schools, that seem to have public service jobs, could possibly be raping kids, swapping porno photos, torturing babies, killing babies to Molech. Nobody wants to believe that that's a possibility. But let's not forget, not too long ago, about a year ago, the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Dennis Hastert, was actually, it came out that he was actually a pedophile, paying off men that when they were boys, he was molesting and raping them. He was caught because he was doing some weird thing with his bank. We didn't want to tip off anybody, so he couldn't take out more than $10,000. He tipped him off anyway. Turns out the Speaker